Granny Sheep earns a living by selling wool sweaters, and all her customers in the shop are young lambs, but they never think about where the wool comes from when they pay their bills. As soon as the young lambs leave, an important customer arrives at the shop. Granny Sheep sees that it's a lonely old goat. While she greets the old goat on the surface, she secretly presses the hidden red button under the table. The poor old goat falls into the trap, and that's how the material for the wool sweaters is obtained. The doorbell rings again, and this time it's the village's silly sheep. Granny Sheep excitedly presses the mechanism again, but the silly sheep, being too fat from overeating, gets stuck at the entrance of the trap. Upon seeing this, Granny Sheep calmly closed the door, and then she looked at the stupid sheep in front of her. Grandma Goat thought it would be a pity not to make 2 sweaters out of this thick wool. She tries her best to push the silly sheep down, but it's stuck too tightly. Granny Sheep uses the momentum of her run-up to jump onto the young lamb, but instead of pushing the lamb down, she falls through its wool and directly onto the underground conveyor belt. The machines on the conveyor belt first clean Granny Sheep of any dirt, then apply green paint to her. Finally, with a gentle push of a shaving razor by the machine, fresh green wool is instantly ready. And then came Granny Sheep's nightmare. The sheep foreman dragged her into a dark factory where deceived little sheep were slaving away. Not only were they being sheared dry of their wool, but they were also forced to work here, knitting sweaters. The foreman placed Granny Sheep on the production line, not recognizing that the green sheep before him was their boss. Then the foreman transported the newly produced sweaters through pipelines to the store. He kept shipping sweaters, but no one was sorting them in the store, so all the sweaters were piled up in a pile. Under the foreman's relentless transport, a crack appeared on the store's wall. When the foreman pushed the last sweater into the pipeline, there was suddenly a loud bang, and the entire store was destroyed in an instant. The little sheep in the factory saw daylight again. When they saw the usually domineering foreman attempting to flee, Granny Sheep, furious, urged the little sheep to demand justice from the foreman. Eventually, they brought the foreman to justice. The little sheep put on the free sweaters, and Granny Sheep once again prospered by selling roasted lamb skewers, with the customers still being those little sheep.